Yo, Philly 254 living life. Back at it. Now, what we're talking about today kind of pains my heart just a little bit, but not really, not a whole lot, but a little bit. I think it's time for Steam Deck 2 to kind of come into the game. You know, let's be honest. I know Valve is working on Steam Deck 2, and they're looking at I'm hoping for a 2025 release at most, early 2026 kind of thing. And I understood their philosophy, you know, with the situation. They didn't really want to do too many like refreshes of the model. I mean, we did get the Steam Deck OLED, but they didn't change too much about the OLED. I mean, there was a few small improvements, but it was more optimization kind of things. So I think they wanted to make sure that when they do the next Steam Deck, it was going to be a full like when the Steam Deck 2 comes out, it's going to be a generation 2 situation, you know, a full generation 2. You're going to feel like this is the next generation. In the meantime, though, we're looking at the original Steam Deck, and even the OLEDs in the same category. We're starting to notice more and more, you know, AAA, or I won't even say AAA, but more graphical intensive games kind of starting to struggle. It's starting to struggle a little bit more than it used to. Now, here's the thing. The Steam Deck was never fully released. It was never released as like this overpowered, we're going to play everything kind of system. That was never the angle. They were never trying to be the top dogs. It was just more of play the majority of the games on Steam that the Steam Deck can play with Proton. Play the majority of the games on Steam without too much trouble. And any games, like newer games that come out, there may have to be some changes, some graphical changes, some adjustments made for it to play. And for the most part, that was exactly what's been going on. Newer games would come out, maybe the Steam Deck would struggle a little bit on default, so, you know, we would have to make some changes, you know, and we're okay with that. We are 100% okay with that, and so was I. You know, so when I say we, I'm including myself. Unfortunately, in 2025, started happening in 2024, but 2025 definitely starting to notice more and more games are struggling on the Steam Deck. And you have to go, and I mean, when the Steam Deck you got everything set to low. As low as you can go, and the game is still struggling. Avowed, Monster Hunter. I don't know about the new WWE 2K game. I don't know how that's gonna look. You know, I'll try it out, whatever. But it's the pattern, and there's nothing wrong with it, to be honest with you. We get it. It's been in quite a few years now. The Steam Deck's been out with pretty much the same hardware. It's gonna happen. And that's the thing about console, well, I say console gaming, but portable gaming with PC games. The thing is, PCs constantly evolve. And if you have a PC, a gaming PC, you can just change parts out, get a new GPU, things like that. Add more RAM whenever you need it, things like that. You can evolve your PC with the games, is what I'm saying. Unfortunately for the handhelds, what they were released as is what you got until the next version comes out. That's the trade-off. Keep in mind, that's the trade-off. And I've always said, especially with the Steam Deck, you know, it always felt like a console gamer's entry into PC gaming, if you weren't already PC gaming, right? So, because out of all the handhelds that have been released, the Steam Deck is just the most pick up and go system that they got. Windows doesn't really, you know how Windows is with gaming. You know how it is. The Steam Deck, on the other hand, kind of just did its thing, right? Just pick it up and go. And the only issue with that is, of course, as games improve, because games improve and PCs improve to, you know, accommodate that. Handhelds like Steam Deck, especially Steam Deck, was really one of the early ones that went mainstream, you know. So, of course, being the first to the party means you got older hardware. So, unfortunately, we're in a position now where that older hardware is the dust is starting to collect on it, unfortunately. So, is the Steam Deck still viable in 2025? Yeah, it is, technically. Now, if you really want the latest and greatest of games to look great or anything, yeah, that's probably not going to happen. Guaranteed it's not going to happen. If you want the latest and greatest of games to just run smoothly, maybe a year and a half ago, I would have said that yeah, you can probably at least get it to run smoothly. It just won't look good. But now, it's probably not going to do that as well, unfortunately. It is what it is. That's just the nature of the beast. So, is the Steam Deck still viable, though? Yeah, it still is because outside of those latest and greatest, it still plays a lot of the other games that's been coming out. And keep in mind, not every brand new game comes out is trying to look like it's real life 3D in your face. Not every game is trying to play that, trying to be in that category. So that's perfectly fine. But of course, if you want to just make sure you keep up with the Joneses, and when it comes to handheld gaming, that is, you're gonna Steam Deck is not gonna be the one for you, unfortunately. You may want to try some of the other guys, LIXs, different, just the newer guys. I don't want to say newer guys, but some of the other guys with the newer devices until that Steam Deck 2 comes out. Then it's gonna be a different conversation. I don't know. I haven't looked into any rumors of what it may have or whatever, but I know definitely it's gonna be far more up to snuff. If they follow the same similar pattern that they did with Steam Deck 1, whereas when the Steam Deck, when the original Steam Deck released, it was good enough. It was, well, actually, I would say it's more than good enough. It handled everything pretty comfortably. Even current games at the time, it handled them pretty comfortably. There may have been some changes with graphics, but there wasn't too much performance issues whatsoever. If they follow that same pattern, then Steam Deck 2 will release it. It's not gonna, it may not blow every game away. I'm running it, you can run ultra settings on the Steam Deck with this, with this brand new game. But at the very least, you may have to make some changes with graphics or whatever, settings or whatever. But it's gonna run without a hitch, unless the game itself has a problem, or there's a problem with Proton or something, right? But it won't be the issue of the Steam Deck's hardware. Is what I'm trying to get at. So Steam Deck 1 is still relevant. Just got to keep in mind that it's not going to be balling out and killing them like it used to. It's getting a little old. It's the middle age now, It's still relevant, though. It's still kicking. But that Steam Deck 2 is definitely needed. It's gotten to the point where Steam Deck 1 can't play games right anymore without some heavy, everything set to low and everything is turned off kind of concessions, which even then, games will still have some hiccups and stuff. Oh man, don't let the game itself already not be fully optimized super well. That just makes it even worse, right? So it's a thing that I think we all kind of knew was coming. Steam Deck is still that system though. Don't get me wrong, it's still that system though. But yeah, I think it's about time for Steam Deck 2. Just kind of do a little rant out there, my thoughts on it. If you like more Steam Deck news, walkthrough, guides, gameplays, like and subscribe. Cruise through the playlist. And I'm out.